Is it yes or no, guys? Yes, please respond, everybody. If you are rotating, keep on rotating more fastly, so that it will produce us that. Yes, Telugu we can say venna. Tamil what we can say, ready? Do all people know or don't know? Please respond. Yes? What is happening, Ra? Nobody will answer. Olden days and all will use this technique to separate the butter from the curd. This is what we'll take one stick, and now also you can. Yes, Omar, what we can say?
Sir, that one stick it will be there, sir. There will be continuously they will be using that.
Yeah, Tamil also we can say venna. Is it called as venna only?
Yes, sir.
Venna. So what we'll do, see, olden days when I'm a child, I used to also do this one. But nowadays, small stick is coming so that it will be like having a flower like thing. So just they will be rotating, continuously shaking inside so that you will get the venna. That is what. So the same phenomena we are using here. You can see separation by centrifugation. We will never see a big particles. We never see a big size impurities. Big size impurities. Do you understand, all of you? So they are like insoluble suspends. Understanding? They are suspended particles of a substance. They are very, very small. They are floating continuously. Continuously they are floating. They will neither come up nor settle down. So that is called as a suspended particles. So to separate the suspended particles, so we have to use a separation technique called as, what is that? For example, you can take clay water. You can take clay water. So is it possible to separate the clay water by filtration and all? Clay water? Yes, please. Because particles are very small. So if we'll pass through the filtration also, still the water will contain the clay particles. Yes or no? Ready? Hurry, everybody. Yes, please. So that is why we can go with the centrifugation technique. So what do you mean by centrifugation? And let us study what is the meaning of that. I will show you the mission also. And me and my wife, Navya ma'am, having good experience with the centrifugation mission because so many years we used to operate this one. Okay. I will show you the real picture also, which is not there in book. So please all of you write separation by centrifugation. Definition first. Separation by centrifugation. Right. Centrifugation is done by a mission called centrifuge. What is the mission name called as? Centrifuge. Centrifugation is done by a mission name is called as centrifuge. Mission name called as centrifuge. Centrifuge, right? Centrifugation is a method for separating the suspended particles. Separating the suspended. What do you mean by suspended? Harish, ready? Suspended means floating. Do you understand? They will never settle down. That is what. Suspended particles of a substance. Suspended particles of a substance. Understand, Akilan? Of a substance from a liquid. From a liquid in which the mixture is rotated, in which the mixture is rotated. That rotated only we used to call it as spun or spinning. Spinning, what is the past tense of spinning? V3 form, spun. Okay, rotated or spun, S-P-U-N, spun at a high speed in a centrifuge. At a high speed in a centrifuge. Who is the centrifuge? Is a mission. Do you understand, everybody? So mission where the centrifugation process will take place. Is it okay, all of you? Mr. Omar, ready? Mitakshri? Yes, Arun Kailash?
Yes, sir.
Yes, write it. That is what high speed in a centrifuge is only called as centrifugation. Okay, everyone. So what is the example we can use? We can separate the clay particles suspended in a water very rapidly by the method of centrifugation. Example you can write. We can separate example. We can separate clay particles suspended in water very rapidly by the method of centrifugation. Very rapidly. What do you mean by rapidly? Very fastly. Rapidly by centrifugation. Is it okay, everybody? Yes, please. Now, how many of you have seen centrifugation mission till now? Anybody can tell me, please. Have you seen the centrifugation mission?
Yes, sir. Chemistry ma'am shown us and she operated that.
Yeah, where it is there? Is it there in lab?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Chemistry lab.
Yeah, okay. Now you can see the centrifugation mission. Basically, we people knows blood. Our blood contains mostly what? Most of the blood contains water only. Yes or no? Have you noticed it? Yes, everybody. So this is the mission. Have you seen this mission, Mr. Omar?
This only, sir.
Yeah. So this is only ways to call it as centrifuge mission. I'll show you the working phenomenon also.
Sir, but it is bigger than this, sir.
Yeah, I know that this is a smaller one. It will work with RPM, rotations per minute. What is this?
Rotations per minute.
Rotations per minute. So it will use to produce maximum around 5,000 to 7,000 rotations per minute. Do you understand, everybody? Rotations per minute. We can set the required speed. That is what here we will be having valves also. So we can rotate it maximum like RPMs, rotation per minute. So this is what the centrifuge mission we can say. Now this centrifuge will be having a tubes called as, this tube what the person is seeing here is called as centrifuge tube. What is the fuse we used to call as? What is the tube is called as? Centrifuge tubes. Centrifuge tubes we can say. Now, if I want to test the, suppose you can see drugs percentage and as well as any kind of alcohol consumption and all everything. If I want to test from the blood, you can see this is the centrifugation of blood. So as we know, our blood contains all the red blood cells, white blood cells and all. But what is the major percentage of our blood? Water only. Yes or no, guys? Yes. So what is the major percentage of blood? Plasma. Yes or no, Mitakshri? Have you studied or not? So plasma is the major percentage of blood which contains all the RBC, WBC and platelets and all. So the blood can be separated into blood cells and plasma by which technique? By which technique? By centrifugation. You can see all the blood particles are settled down and plasma is up. And as we know, plasma contains 90% of what? 90% of water. So you can see even that much small particles also we can separate it by centrifugation technique. That is why you can see the centrifugation is used to separate the mixture of fine suspended particles in a liquid. It will take in a which is floating in a liquid. That is what it is. Very finest particles which will never settle down. So we can separate it by rotating the mixture very fastly at very high speed, rapidly by that with the help of centrifugation mission, so that all the particles will settle down or the particles will come up, so that it will cause us to separate out. Do you understand? So what is the principle of centrifugation? Single word, Akilan, Arun Kailas. What is the principle of centrifugation mission? Anybody? What is the principle of centrifugation mission? Everyone. Spinning. Understand? What is the principle of centrifugation mission? By spun or spinning. Understanding? So all the particles will settle down. So that is only ways to call it as a principle of centrifugation. Are you understand, Omar? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is what. Now, inside the centrifugation, you can see handling, while you're handling with the centrifuge, the closing and opening the doors must be very properly. If not, centrifuge tubes also sometimes will break, so it will cause us to damage of mission. So mission is very expensive. So we have to close the lid very tightly. If not, it will produce a sound also. So by observing the sound, we can understand something is not proper. Or the tubes also sometimes will break. That is what, because we are using plastic tubes, so that sometimes they may damage also. So that is also causing of spoiling the mission. So you have to be very, very careful while you are handling the centrifuge mission. So now you can see here, all of you, suspended particles are thrown to the bottom. Have you noticed it, everyone? Or if it is lighter than that, they'll come to up also. Now you can see before, this is what the test tube, that is what we can say centrifuge tube, which we cannot say test tube. What is that we used to call it as? Centrifuge tube. Do you understand? So all the particles, see solid particles suspended in a liquid. Now this is what before centrifuge. Now if I'll place it in the centrifuge cell and if I'll start spinning, imagine I given 7,000 rpms, 7,000 rotations per minute, then all the suspended particles, solid particles will settle down. You can see here. So all the suspended particles will settle down. Now only the clear liquid will be present up. This is what after centrifuging, and this is what before centrifuging. Have you understand, guys? Please respond. Everybody? Yes. Now, so remember, I will give you the phenomena, all the principle of the centrifuge tube. All should learn that. So all of you remember what is the principle of centrifuge tube? Everybody? Spinning. By spinning, the centrifuge tube will produce us more number of rotations. That is what it is, high speed. So that is only the phenomena of the principle of the principle of centrifuge tube. Now I will show you the principle of centrifuge tube. All of you should write. Once you know the principle, exam madam may ask what is the principle of centrifuge mission. So you can write this one. This is what the principle of centrifuge, so that all the suspended particles will settle down, so that the pure liquid will come up. Okay. So this is the same centrifuge technique we are using. Separation of cream from milk. You can see milk industries, separation of cream from milk. We are using this technique only. So we'll study that example also tomorrow, how it will be happening, and I'll show you the real videos also if possible. Hope anybody, I think you all of you, Mitakshri, have you handled the centrifuge? Harini, only some sections or everybody? Do you all people know centrifuge, how it is? Have you seen Gokul Krishna? Yes, Omar, only your class? Other classes? Ready? Okay. So that is what. So please all of you write. This is what the principle of centrifuge. Mitakshri, have you seen your class? Not so nothing?
Sir, we have seen, sir.
Principle of, or PLE, principle of centrifuge tube. Centrifuge. So all of you learn this. Very, very important. Make it fast. So this is what about it. So what is centrifugation? So simply if they will ask you, what is centrifugation? So what you will say? Just by help of what? By rotation. Rotation only we should call it as what? Spun or spinning. Understanding? Past tense is spun, or present tense we can say spinning. So what is the working principle of this one? Spinning. Understand everybody? Yes, please. Yeah, write it. So that is the principle. All should learn that. Once it is over, let me know. Are you clear? So everybody should learn the principle of centrifuge. Understand, Arun Kailash? Gokul? Okay. So remaining process evaporation and as well as chromatography. That is all. We'll try to finish it in tomorrow's class. So that later I will give you the physics revision also. So with this, I will stop the today's class. Hope everybody understand. So thank you, everybody. We'll meet in the next class.
Thank you, sir.